Hello, welcome to Supercharged Fridays. I hope I'm live. So yes, welcome back. I am now at 264 weeks of live streaming every Friday on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Um, and if this is your first time, I'm so happy you're here. My name is Sonal Behel. I am a career coach, and I used to be in human resources. And I've worked in India, South America, and Europe. And what I do today is help people who are transitioning in their career and help them to land something better, something more exciting, and something that pays even better and makes you happier, right? If that's what you're about, consider sort of subscribing, following, liking, all the good stuff. Now, I need a little help from you. This is my first live stream that I'm doing with a new um, streaming channel. It's a new broadcasting software that I've not used before. So I just want to make sure that you can hear me and see me properly. So could you just jump into the comments and tell me that things are okay? I would really appreciate it. Like you can hear and you can see, because I can see comments coming in from YouTube. Thank you very much. How do I pronounce your name? Ozoda, thank you for being here. If you're watching me on LinkedIn, please let me know as well. Because, yeah, the first time you're doing something, it's like always making sure that, you know, hopefully everything is okay. So, thank you for being here, Lalita. So, let us get into it. I have a couple of things to share as well as announcements as well. Mate, thank you very much. And LinkedIn works as well. Okay. Okay. Amazing. Thank you, LinkedIn user. For some reason, your name is not allowed into your LinkedIn privacy settings to third-party software. So it's something you can easily go and configure if you want to. You don't want to, that's fine as well. So thank you. Appreciate it. Clear visibility. I'm really happy with it as well. Thank you. And I was using the other one for 5 years and it was so easy to use. I didn't want to change, but I didn't have a choice. And sometimes you're only as good as the tools that you use, and the easier they are, the better they are. So amazing. Good. Welcome. So before we get into today's like open office hours, ask me anything, I wanted to share that block in your calendar, block next week. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to bring in past LinkedIn guests of mine. Tina Jarvit, who is an international recruiter based here in Europe, in Belgium. She's actually 20 minutes from my house and is a very good friend of mine now. We met through LinkedIn. And Gillian Whitney. Gillian Whitney is a video, she trains people how to be strong on video. And she is based in Las Vegas. However, she's been through her own set of transitions and she's doing other things now. She's a book coach. She helps people write amazing books that get onto the Amazon bestseller list. And I think she's now in Texas. So big changes on her front as well. And they're both going to come and they're both going to talk to me about what? What is the topic? The topic is going to be, let me see if I can pull this off because I want to just make sure that things work. Yeah, it's not very evident. Let me see. Just bear with me while I kind of get used to things. They're going to talk about the topic, your voice matters, and how do you present from the heart. Okay. And everything they share is right up my alley. And there's no fluff. If you know me a little bit, it's very practical advice. And they've written a new book together on presenting from the heart that I think will be very valuable to people who are in my neck of the woods. So make sure you are tuning in at this time next Friday, which happens to be Valentine's Day, and it's time to share some of that love. And I love that this kind of knowledge is not, it's not being gate kept. It's instead being shared with everyone. So I think the source of all good things is love. So it sounds so cheesy right now, but what better way to talk about all of this than Valentine's Day? So make sure you mark your calendar next Friday at the same time on Supercharged Fridays. And let's get into it. So if you've got questions for me, live or live is better because on the replay I tend to see it a little later. But if you're here right now and you've got questions, definitely come and share them with me and I will do my best to help you. And I also have 2 questions that I received separately that I'm going to be addressing today. So let's get into it. And hopefully everything is working because in the past, in the previous broadcasting software, there were times I would miss comments on LinkedIn. Hopefully today that's not the case, but I'm just gonna double check because the last thing I like is somebody coming in asking questions and I didn't even respond because I never saw anything. So just want to make sure that all is good on that front and there's nothing that I have missed. I think we're good. Okay, amazing, amazing. We're good. Thank you very much for being here. I think that was you, Jasmine, who has. Okay, got it. Amazing. All right, so let us get into the questions without further ado. The first question is from Venkat. Hi, Venkat. How can you be successful in an IT firm, in IT for long term? Because with experience comes responsibility and it makes me feel anxious. With experience comes responsibility and it makes me feel anxious. Tell me more about this, Venkat. Um, you're asking a question that's coming from a certain paradigm. Like this is what you believe. Tell me more about this. With experience comes responsibility. Sure, and that is true for life, right? We grow older, we have to earn an income, we take care of our family, maybe our we have a new family. Yes, that's responsibility as well. It doesn't mean it has to suck. It can be fun, right? And what part of this makes you feel anxious? Tell me more about that. What part of this makes you feel anxious? Because anxiety typically comes when we are thinking about something that hasn't happened yet, right? So there's maybe some scene that's playing in your head over and over. Let us know a little bit more about that. Okay. And having said that, I do want to say that if I'm sounding like it, then I apologize, but I'm not a therapist and that is not my domain or my area of expertise. And there's no way I'm going to, sort of get into that. So that's not my intention, but I do want to know a little bit more about where your anxiety comes from. So I'm just going to be here, not going anywhere. I'm going to be here for another 20 minutes. So if you're around, feel free to share. Okay. All right. I have no doubt you will share, you will learn a lot. It's always the case. I always make sure I bring in amazing people. Shubham, hi. I recently changed jobs and your salary negotiation helped me. Amazing. Congratulations. Well done. Make sure you share this with other people because there's no point keeping this information to yourself. So well done. You put in the work. You It felt probably momentarily uncomfortable, but you did it anyway. So for that, I want to say congrats. Well done. I'm happy for you. Um, Ozoda says, I feel uncomfortable every time I look for a job and go to the interviews. Being an introvert, going out is a hassle. If I am satisfied with my current workplace, should I still look for another job and go for interviews? I think you maybe answered your own question, but I still would like to understand where you're coming from. Okay, like I I want to I want you to get this out of your head that as an introvert, um, it happens with me that going out is a pain and going to interviews is uncomfortable. I think that's not fair. Don't put that on introversion or extroversion. Okay, because introverts is not that introverts don't like people. The difference is, sources of energy. Where are they coming from, right? And when there's free time, would you rather go out and get energized, in a party or being at the center of attention or talking to people, or would you prefer to be home with a good book next to the fireplace or a great movie and you're by yourself? You like your own company. That's fine as well. But it doesn't mean that people who are introverted are anxious socially. It's not that. Okay. So I just want to challenge that firstly, because I've talked about this a few times on the live stream. But the second thing, I think you answered your own question. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Let's not invite suffering and struggle. I think life can be hard enough as it is. If you're happy where you are, it's different if you're like curious, you want to know what's going on in the market. You can get lots of gossip from friends and colleagues and see what's going on in the market. But if you're not, and if you're happy, I would say it's underrated, career bliss, being happy, being satisfied. It's underrated. We hear a lot of talk on, especially social media, about hustle and ambition. It's It's also good. I think there's a time and place for everything. And I think there's a season for everything. But if you're happy where you are, however, if you're not happy and there's a little niggling doubt that you could be doing something else, you could be doing more, then it's different. Okay. Then you need to figure out what's going on, what part of interviews makes you uncomfortable. Because there's nothing bad that'll happen. Remember that. Best case scenario, you like the conversation, it goes further. Worst case scenario, they realize you're not the right person, or you realize they're not the right people for you. You see what I mean? It's good. It's good. Change that little bit, practice that new pattern, and see how things work out. All right. Okay. Hi, Risto. How are you? Oh, I didn't see that you had more questions. Don't the interviewers feel when the person is just fishing? Yes. I think you're very self aware, Zoda. I think you're getting it. So you're oftentimes you're here, but you're answering your own. It's good. So I see a couple of other questions here, and I'm going to get to them in a second. But in the meantime, I want to make sure I address the ones that came up because those guys are waiting. So if you're just joining in, make sure that you tune in at the same time next Friday. I'm bringing in two guests, and we're going to talk about how to present with heart, with authenticity. This word gets thrown around a lot. What does it really mean? We're going to bring in two experts next week to talk about this. So make sure you tune in live with me. So this question that I received on email is basically, it says, what do you do if the recruiter misses the interview without alerting the candidate? Okay. You'll have different points of view. Okay. You talk to five people, they'll give you 5 points of view. So this is my point of view. My point of view is that something happened and they didn't alert you. So they ghosted you, right? That's what you're saying. I don't know if this means that you were at the interview site, but nobody came, or it was online. Whatever it is, it's not good. Okay. But people can make mistakes and we can do stupid things. Sometimes we do it by choice, sometimes we don't realize we're doing it. And I'm a little bit more forgiving. Okay. And I would sort of figure out what happened and write to the recruiter. And now this is where I want you to pay attention. It's not like I'm coming from ego and I'm fishing for an apology, but I would like the other person to acknowledge what happened. And if the other person pretends like nothing wrong happened and they don't pay attention to the fact that they missed the interview, they made you wait, they made a mistake, um, then I'm a little bit more careful and I want to check on things like company culture because it might give you that impression that people are dispensable, disposable, and that's not nice. And if this is how they're treating candidates whom they haven't even hired yet, can you imagine how it would be as an employee when you're already on the other side? Because usually companies are on their best behavior when it's the interview stage. Both sides kind of seducing each other. You know what I mean. But if you're already seeing the not so nice side, pay attention to your instincts and don't ignore them. Okay. Good luck. Okay. Then I saw another question. Hey Swati, with so much buzz on AI, which is just increasing as the day passes, what do you suggest for upgrading for people who are working? Okay, very good question, Swati, and I get this question a lot. I'll tell you what, it is very overwhelming. You're absolutely right. And at some point, the brain also kind of switches off, and then you become a bit immune. You're like, yeah, I've heard this, I've heard this. I would say that approach it from a very narrow point of view and learn how AI is changing the day to day in your field. Start small. Okay. So when I learned a lot about AI, I didn't realize what a game changer it would be for things like my podcast, my YouTube channel, like complete game changer, right? So I'm using it in ways that makes me more productive. And I think of it as my digital assistant, someone I pay very nominal every month, and she's doing so much for me. So figure out a way to make this friendly for you, okay, and familiar in your area of work. Because AI, the ramifications of everything is so huge. We're not interested in that. So just look it in you work in supply chain. Okay, let's see. How is AI helping supply chain? How is AI changing the game? There will be a webinar on this. I guarantee you. You go to YouTube, You'll find a million plus search results on any topic on how AI is helping dot dot dot, fill in the blanks. Human resources, recruiting. Human resources, recruiting. AI has been in the game for over 15 years. This is not new information, but learn a little bit in your area, and I promise you, you'll walk away with at least two or three insights that are interesting for you and you can implement. Okay, I would start there, and then have this attitude of like learning. Take out time every week or every month, take out a couple of hours and attend seminars, listen, take a course, talk to people, just being curious. And you'll already be more aware than someone who's in complete denial that yeah, it's just a passing fad, because it's not. Okay, good luck. Hey Venkat, you have come back. I newly joined Deloitte, and I'm experiencing a new job and an environment. I'm yet to start my new work, and I have the pressure of proving myself. Venkat, where is this pressure coming from? Where's the pressure coming from? Tell me more about that. Hey Kevin, how are you? Let me know. Okay. I'm pretty sure that a large chunk of this is self inflicted. You know, I don't know. Sounds like it, right? I'm sorry, there's some weird thing happening here. Okay. Sorry, I'm just getting used to this new software, as I was saying a little earlier. So, congrats on joining Deloitte. It's a great company. Go in with the attitude, I'm here to learn. I'm going to give it my best for the next couple of years. That's it. We will see what happens tomorrow. Okay. Hi there. I'm frustrated with my current company and I want to resign immediately. Should I send a termination letter? When you say termination, I mean resignation letter. I'm not receiving a relieving letter. Not receiving a relieving letter could impact future. Hmm. Oh gosh, that's not easy. If you're feeling frustrated with your current company, I would say if you can look for something quickly that would be better than where you are today in any way possible. More money, better responsibilities, better people, something like that. It is much easier to resign, much easier in any job market if you can afford it. Okay. It's much easier to, when I say afford it, I mean mentally, like it hasn't taken a toll on your mental health. It is much easier to resign when you have something in hand. Okay. Um, and anytime you want to resign, you can resign. We are not in the 1800s where we are working as slaves. Please, you put in a letter and you look at your contract, look at the notice period, and say that my last working day will be so and so. They have to, they don't have a choice in any country, because they can also relieve you and terminate your contract at any point of time. So can you. So, not receiving a relieving letter could impact future opportunities. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Not necessary. You're coming up with your own assumption there. Of course, it's easier. All the paperwork is there. But I've heard, but in some cultures where you have to chase the person to get the acceptance, legally they can't keep that away from you. Okay. Good morning, Kevin. How are you? How is Texas? Let me know. I hope the snow has melted because you had this freak snowstorm. Okay, how does it go up and down? Good lord, it's very sticky. And I made the like classic move. Okay, I like put lots of hand cream and oil before coming. I have no idea why I did that. So I'm like, like why? Plus new software, it's like not moving. Ah, Michelle. Hey, how are you? Are you still in Greece? What's happening? Okay. Do you think, as part of the interview process, candidates should complete employer work projects? Some employers are asking me to complete quite lengthy projects, and I'm not comfortable. Hmm. Is there a follow up to this? Okay. Yeah, it's really one of those questions. And Michelle, you're not going to like the answer, but it really depends. It really depends. Okay. I've seen both sides. I've seen when I was on the other side and we were interviewing product managers in marketing, we would have them present something and we would give them a case study, usually the same day. And they would be in the office a couple of hours. And what we were interested in was not like the actual result of the case study, but more how did they present, how did they deal with questions that were not easy, how did they deal with fake like conflict, etc., etc. And the decisions were always made in that room right there, right? um but I'm also hearing in my own program with my students in my program, I'm hearing where people, did like a 1 week case on an actual problem they're going through today, and it's basically providing free labor, and those companies are taking advantage. So I think, see within reason. Okay, if this is something that you think you'll walk away with learning a lot, and it's a good investment of your time regardless of how the outcome is, then I would say go for it. Okay, there will be a lot of like polarizing views on LinkedIn. People will say I'm not doing it unless you pay me. That's fine. Not all of us can afford to come from that place. I think you need to see where is the line drawn for you. Like, is it like 1 week of nonstop hard work and you already have a full-time job? Like, what the hell? I'm saying, you might have to push back, but then live with that, live with the repercussions of that. So it really depends on your comfort level. And some companies ask for case and case study and all that, and they're willing to contribute, they're willing to pay you. So if they don't, you can always ask, but be prepared that it might get awkward, and that's okay. You need to live with that. Okay. Hey, Deepak, I want to know how I can improve my consistency. Deepak, I don't quite know how to answer that. You just got to do it. It's sounding like a Nike commercial. You just got to do it. You just got to do it and figure out where would you want to be in this time next year. Would you be still figuring it out, or will there be changes? And if you made those changes, you'll feel so proud. Even like whatever it is you want to be consistent with. For me, it's like certain exercise regime, 5 days a week. That's my thing. And it's been different this year, and I'm so proud when it's like it's not always like the great feeling, oh, I have to do it, but when it's done, I'm really happy. So and then reward yourself with something. So everybody has their own thing, but there is no shortcut to it. You just gotta do it. Do you know what I mean? You just gotta do it. There's no secret. There's no shortcut. Hmm. Okay, I got 7 more minutes. I'm gonna rush through these because I have a call right after, and it seems like I'm falling uh, behind. You're very welcome, Michelle. Good luck with that. Okay. Hi, Sagar. I can do many multitasking things that I've been doing for 15 years, but due to low compensation and management, I have to change my job frequently. Okay. Uh, how do I get a job in a big company to prove my ability and skill? I want to work, but I'm not getting an opportunity. How do I fix this? Okay. So what was the first part? Low comp. Yeah, I think I've heard this question before from you, Sagar. You wanna. There are two ways to do this, right? In a big company, either they call you or you call them. When I say call, I mean make each other aware of each other's existence, right? So ensure that if you want to be noticed, ensure that your LinkedIn profile is optimized, your skills section particularly, because that has lots of code at the background which is noticed by recruiters who are active on LinkedIn from that company. Go to that company's LinkedIn page, go to the about section of that company's LinkedIn page and click on follow and click on yes, I'm interested in those opportunities. All of that good stuff you can do. And when you see opportunities, apply and see who else is there who you know, or who you know indirectly, directly or indirectly, who can make an introduction. That works sometimes much better through a referral contact versus applying and being one of the thousands of people. There's lots of stuff on this on my YouTube channel. So I mean, I'm just giving you like a brief overview, but there's a lot more where this comes from. So there's a whole playlist on my YouTube channel on job searching. So check that out. Okay. uh Behavioral questions, not very good at them. So I think that yeah, I mean, some people say the star approach. Okay, I have a different approach inside my program called the 3C framework. Whatever works for you. Star. An even better one is PAR, PAR, problem, action, result, where the question is, how did you do this? So you want to come from a place of honesty, but you also want to, in your head, have some bullet points that you're prepared in advance to talk about. So you're not kind of rambling. and you're not shooting in the dark, but you've come prepared. And it also helps to know what those questions are going to be, because they typically are very predictable. Those top five interview questions and answers. Check my YouTube channel. I have a whole video on what are the top five interview questions and how do you answer them. And I have scripts, I have everything in place to help you. So there will be a lot more there than in the 5 minutes that I have left, because I'm going to swim through our 10 more questions. So hopefully that helps you. Okay, good luck with that. Hey, Gaurav. Oh, amazing, amazing. Listen, thank you so much. I get a lot of comments about like how the videos and the channel has helped. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. The best thing you can do for me is share this knowledge with your friends. Don't keep it to yourself. Okay. And go to LinkedIn. Go to my profile. If my work has helped you, and particularly financially, it's helped you, consider writing a recommendation. It would mean a lot to me, and it works for you as well, right? Because you're doing more good in the world. So always, always, always praise in public, criticize in private. Wouldn't the world be better if we did more of that? We have the opposite today, where everybody's like, the mean comments are always public and the good comments are always private. So this is public. Thank you very much. And consider making it like official, right? Put it on LinkedIn recommendations. There was a time I would be so cringing to ask, but I'm proud. I'm proud of that you were able to get this result, and it would mean a lot to me. Put it in a recommendation that the videos have helped you. Connect with me on LinkedIn, and if we're not first degree connections, then um I will show you how that goes. Okay. And if you're like, yeah, I'm not comfortable doing that, that's okay. Okay. I'm still happy you're here. Okay. Thank you. Hi, Lalita. My lead is inefficient in all aspects. And the senior managers know it too. But with so many discussions, it's now obvious that there's no action that's going to happen. The company is great with good culture. I don't know about good culture, Lalita. I'll tell you how I define culture. What is tolerated? So if the company is currently tolerating incompetence, what does that say? Okay. What does that say to you? You can only do so much, right? I'm not going to answer this for you. There's only so much you can do. Hey, Najam, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm so happy you enjoyed it. GP is, yeah, it's a great guy. He used to be a professor of mine at INSEAD. So if you don't know, I have a podcast called How I Got Hired, and I publish like a couple of episodes every month. Definitely check that out. Just go to How I Got Hired, Sonal Behel, and you'll find it. And this is the latest episode that Najam is talking about. It's in 2 parts because it was quite lengthy, but so worth it. So worth it. So thank you so much, Najam. That means a lot to me. Hey there. Any idea about business intelligence opportunities? Am I getting deja vu? Did we talk about this last week? Did we talk about this last week? We talked about business intelligence, or we talked about something, and the person was based in Singapore or wanting to go to Singapore. My answer was, it doesn't matter what opportunities are. Like, how do you get the word known that you're interested and you're looking, right? So I think might be worth catching the replay for next week. I'm sorry, I'm running because I have a meeting now, so I just want to make sure that I'm covering all the questions. All right. Off-role job opportunity better than on-role, as there many advantages. Suhaib, I'm so sorry, Suhaib. I don't understand the question. Off-role job opportunity. What does that mean? Can you explain to me what that means? Filiberto Cano. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Encantada. Estoy feliz que usted está aquí. I'm showing off my Spanish from 15 years ago. Thank you so much for being here. You are very welcome. Create a new video on interview prep. I got lots of videos on interview prep. So many videos on interview. Have you watched all of them? Have you watched all of them? If you have, then tell me and I'll come. You're very welcome. Good luck. Hi, Joey. I've been facing burnout at work for months. Management couldn't help reduce the work. I always feel like insecure. And I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. Burnout is a clinical diagnosis. So if you feel like people are taking you for granted and it's like not changing, please don't delay this. Please go to the doctor and figure out. Okay, they're going to conduct some battery of tests, and you might likely have to take time off, because please don't screw around with your health. It's not worth it. those guys, those people are not worth it. If they don't value you as a human being, please, 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 please listen to me. Okay. I have people, I have clients, I've had people who had so much stress, it resulted in such deterioration of their health, physical health. I know some person in one of my programs, he lost one eye because the stress was so much, and it is not worth it. You need to get a doctor's appointment and figure out what's happening, and they're going to tell you. Usually it's 3 or 6 months. You've got to recover. Burnout is a clinical diagnosis, it's a medical diagnosis. It's not something we say for fun. It's not something anybody can say she's in burnout. Yeah, it is a medical term. Okay. So please take care of yourself. Or one life. Okay. Hi, Sajid. Thank you for being here. Off role, on a contract basis. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you see an opportunity, sometimes those, okay, off role, I got it. So contractor opportunities can, like a consultant, they can become permanent. I think you earn a little bit more when you're a contractor, or much more when you're a contractor. It's not a bad thing. Like they have a very specific problem and a contractor can come and fix it. But at the same time, they don't have to take care of like the classic expenses like healthcare, etc. And some people do, they move from project to project. That's a good life for them. And others are like, no, I prefer a permanent role. So there's no right or wrong here. For me, it's more about what feels good to you. Hi, Athena. Thank you for being here. So sweet. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. That means a lot to me. Are recruiting agencies using AI to filter candidates? Yeah, some are. I have applied to opportunities, but I'm not landing an interview. So let's be careful when we say applicant tracking system (ATS). I have a whole interview with someone who's you worked on 6 ATSs. His name is Ed Hahn. Unfortunately, he passed away late last year, but he was very knowledgeable on this topic. So check that. It's going to be very useful to you. It's very helpful to use AI because there's only so much human beings can do, right? But that doesn't mean that it's filtering out like randomly. Okay. There's keywords and there's a lot more to talk about inside. um, Venkatesh, I'm sorry, hold on, let me just make sure that I finish with the others. Thank you, Lalita. I really appreciate that. Rejection email comes hours after application. Yeah, sometimes it's humans because there are some people who work on weekends, and sometimes it's automated. That's why I say if you can find out a person and get introduced inside, it works so much better because you're not in like a pile of like hundreds and thousands of resumes. That definitely will help you. Can I ask for a joining bonus? Uh, Venkatesh, I don't know. Have you already started? Like, have you already accepted the round with Deloitte? Because you said you're one of my banking clients, which is a good switch. Ah, you have to figure this out. Is it worth it? Okay, because once you leave, you already are at Deloitte, if I'm not mistaken. So, firstly, that's a good problem. Okay, you have another offer, so they want you. That's good. Please keep in mind that something that looks good short term, it has to work for you long term as well. Okay, money. And if you leave this and you go to the other one, it's only for money. Please see the whole thing. Is it a culture that you see a good fit with? Do you see promotional opportunities, training opportunities, growth? How are the people, culture? All of that matters. All of that adds up. Okay, the perks, the benefits. How is it as a brand compared to Deloitte? You need to see all of that factors. So check this YouTube channel, video on my YouTube channel on I have two offers. Should I take A or should I take B? Okay, it's from 2 years ago. I think that'll be very helpful to you. And there are 7 or 8 criteria that I use, and money is one of them. See all of them. And if we're in different stages, some criteria are more important than others, and that's completely normal. So I'm not going to tell you what to do and which one to take. You just need to live that. If you decide to take this new other one, that's fine. Just remember that it's not going to, don't expect to maintain a good relationship with Deloitte. It doesn't always work that way, right? So yeah, good luck with that. All right. Sometimes it's so weird. I'm clicking on someone's name and it says add person to block list. I don't want to add you to a, please, I don't want to add anybody to a block list here. It's just this new software. Hey, Sonal, can I get a job as an HR recruiter? Yeah, why not? Why not? If you don't have experience, it helps if you have experience. If you don't have experience, pick up your hand, look for projects, look for a video on my YouTube channel on how do I do a career change. Okay, I sent this on my newsletter yesterday. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my newsletter. Sonal, superchargeyourself.com/newsletter. And send me an email. I will send you yesterday's edition. And there was a video in it about career change. And I give very concrete tips on how it can help you, to go from career A to career B. All right. So, all right. Amazing. This was so much fun. This was so much fun. Lots and lots of questions. Oh, I got one more. I was just about to sign out. Oh, goodness. Hey, Varun, I have an appraisal letter from 2024 from my current employer, but since then, no salary has been credited. So, in the appraisal letter, did they promise you a raise, Varun? Now, the new company is not considering my last appraisal letter. I don't get it. From my current employer, but since then, no salary has been credited. So, I don't know I'm not sure how I can help you here. If the company said they would make you a raise, right? They would give you a raise and they haven't done it, you have to follow up with them. We are talking about like 8 months later. And so they owe you outstanding amount from June 2024 to Feb 2025. That's no joke. That's a crap load of money. That's my question. Is that something that they promised you? That your new salary will be so and so? And this new company is not considering my last appraisal letter. Why not? I don't know. I'm not sure about this company. I don't like the idea of someone saying no to you because for whatever reason. I don't understand that. So, yeah, figure out the first part. And good luck. Thank you for being here. I hope this has been helpful. So take care of yourself, and I shall see you at the same time next Friday with Jillian and Tina. And we're going to have an amazing, amazing topic. We're going to talk about your voice matters and how do you present from the heart. So I appreciate you being here, and thank you for your patience with me figuring out this new software. And I shall hopefully see you at the same time next Friday. Have a lovely Friday and weekend. Bye for now.